Hello, 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 lovely friends. Hello, lovely friends. How are you doing? My birthday today. Thank you so much. I just wanted to jump on tonight. I'm trying to connect with Aline Habib tonight. My friend Aline, I met her last week. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady who is also just on a real rampage for her best. She's really working on her best. As we have this in common. It's a wonderful day today. It's my 49th birthday today, and so I am had so many well wishes today, so many blessings today from so many people. I'm so grateful for all of the well wishes that I've received today. I had a wonderful day today. All the blessings, so nice. I had a nice time. I had a nice restful day. I had an awesome day. Hi, Aline. I think she's here. I'm hoping that she's just going to be able to jump on with me in just a moment. I'm watching for her to join me. I don't know what I have to do. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Maybe this. I'm still getting this is still very new to me to be doing Facebook Live this way in the interview way here. And hopefully, I have invited Aline, and hopefully, she'll be here to join me in just a second. Hopefully, that will do it. Okay, I think it may be in action. Aha!
Right.
Lovely. All right.
So good to see you, John. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you,
Special
lovely
day.
lady. Thank you, lovely lady. So nice to see you again. Great to be connected with you again here. Wonderful to connect. It's a big energetic day for me. It's a lovely birthday. I got lots of lovely wishes today from lots of my family and friends, and I had a really nice day. I just came back from playing a little bit of tennis with my son. I had a very nice day today, and I'm really excited. I had a great call this afternoon with a friend from India, talking to me about the breatharian lifestyle, and here I am tonight. I think we're going to be talking tonight a little bit about your fasting, what you're doing with your fasting, a little bit maybe about fasting lifestyle. We're definitely going to be talking about um, love. We're definitely going to be talking about love. I know you're making some big changes in your life. I know that you've been fasting. I know that you've been changing your life a lot. Tonight we're here to talk about what's happening in our lives. It's about coming to intentions. We have to practice our intentions. We have to come to our thoughts and our words of what we want to create. We have to think and speak about what we want to create. We have to come to dialogue about these things. This is what our practice is. Our practice is learning how to love ourselves. Our practice is learning how to love others. Our practice is learning how to love and share love out into our world with all aspects of our world. This is the practice.
All
This is
right.
the practice. Yes. Aline, share, lovely. What are you doing? What have you been doing? I know you're on a rampage for your best. What are you doing?
Not everybody would agree, but yes, that's what I'm doing. Against the current, against the odds. I am just reconnecting with myself, my spirit, my divine guidance, and higher guidance also guiding me along this way. I've been on this journey for, I would say, about 8 years. My awakening started. Can you hear me well? Is it okay?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
you.
So,
Lovely.
yeah, I think my journey started 8 years ago when I, started wanting to get sober from alcohol and drugs, and also when I got the call to stop eating animals. Just out of the blues, I wasn't really watching any documentaries. I just got like this download that I needed to stop doing this. At the time, I was living in Belize, so it was really challenging for me within that culture to do that. So it's been a progression, you know, then to vegan, then to whole food vegan, then to raw vegan. Within that was a lot of juice cleansing, a lot of, um, you know, removing the mucoid plaque. And now I am at the stage where I'm being called to water fast. So I am currently 14 days on my second water fast. My first one was 3 days. And I can't even explain to you what's going on because it is the most powerful thing I have ever done in my life. Other than the juice cleanse gave me a lot of clarity, a lot of insight, a lot of downloads, helped me heal my body and soul. And this is like another level of deep healing that, yeah, I've just been um, resisting for a long time because I find it so extreme and misunderstood. And I just, you know, following you and following a few brotherians and a few people that have been going deep with this, just kind of alleviated my fear. And really, I'm reconnecting with my ancestors and really, I'm reconnecting with my past lives because what I'm feeling right now is like I have done this before. This feels really natural to me. And everybody thinks I'm like, well, not everybody. Some people think I've lost my mind. And I even had to leave the communal living I was living at because they just don't know what to do with me. And I'm just like steadfast on pursuing this because there's nothing more important than going to the end of my calling. Yes. Determined, I obey to one man and one man alone, and he's right there, and he's in here, and no man has authority over me. Mhm.
Mm. This is a big one, like moving into your independence, like stepping out on your own, leaving kind of all controls behind, and really embracing independence, taking full responsibility for yourself. This is scary stuff, though.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, and people are afraid to step into this type of work. Like really healing yourself is really about making your own personal decisions,
Mhm.
right? And everyone around you is not really going to accept that very much. When you start to choose for yourself, then that really changes all of the relationships that you're connected to. So the people that are closest to you always are going to be very affected when someone decides that I'm going to take responsibility for my love. I'm going to take responsibility for my energy, and I'm going to generate my energy from within myself. So now I start nourishing myself differently, and then that looks different in my relationships, and that affects my relationships. And then people that are closest to me often are upset about the change.
Mm.
It's very normal, love.
Well, when you've been so used to being quote unquote sick, right? What I've noticed in certain family dynamics, and I don't like to call myself that, but you know, growing up with mental health issues and things that the whole family had to focus and the energy into me, um, and they're kind of used to that, like, and people around are used to me being not well, you know, so it's like I start doing good and they're so happy. And at the same time, it kind of shakes things up. It kind of shakes the dynamic. It's like, oh, wait, she doesn't need us anymore. Or wait, she's rising up. She's doing her own thing. She's actually strong. She's actually in self love. And it's like, oh, my wait, buddy, you know, are you sure you want to go that way? Are you sure it's not too extreme? Are you sure you don't want to keep this like still level of like trying to keep me down? And yes, they are worried. They are concerned and at the same time, I just know deep in my heart that this is coming from a place of complete self-love, of complete worship, and I'm not just doing this for myself. I am also doing it to eventually teach it to other people who might be afraid, who might absolutely need it. This is like this could save somebody's life. You know what I mean? You got like chemo, you got like the medical industry, you got these like other options that you know to me are dead end streets. and then you have this hope through juice cleansing, detoxification, water fasting, even dry fasting, that actually gives people solutions to heal themselves. So, I mean, which is love, you know? Like, who's to say, you know, most people that are judging me, they're on antidepressants, they're on anti-cholesterol, diabetes pills, all this stuff, and I could be, and I don't judge them, I don't tell them nothing about themselves, they just, and they're the ones telling me that I'm not in self-love. So it's just interesting to see the dynamics of all of this playing out. I think there's no measure of, what is it? Like, you don't want to measure yourself to like a sick society too. It's like, what are people's standards? They're very low. You know, when you think like of a balanced diet, what's a balanced diet? You know, a little bit of meat, a little bit of potatoes, and a little bit of what? Like, like what's a
Right.
balanced
So
diet?
this is it. Like what the society considers to be balanced diet and healthy nutrition from what they learned from, grade two, all they've been fed that idea that it's four food groups and it's meat and potatoes and this is how we get healthy and strong and this is what everybody thinks and says and does. And if you're not kind of following that pathway, then you're doing something radical or crazy or wrong. this is what this is how the society views what you're doing. If you're doing something independent for yourself, everyone in the society is going to have an opinion. I heard this and I know this and my doctor says this and my brother says this and my trainer says this. I mean, it's always going to be somebody else's opinion, but my finding in life is that no matter what you do, like as perfect as you can be, it doesn't matter how perfect you are, somebody is going to be upset with you. It doesn't matter whether you are perfect or imperfect. It doesn't even matter. Somebody's going to have a comment for you. No matter how perfect you are, it's not perfect for somebody else. And at the end of the day, we have to eventually decide for ourselves, not to be for somebody else and what somebody else thinks and says about us and what we should be doing because my mom said or my dad said or my sibling said or my friend said or my husband said, my neighbor said or my boss said. Like, you can follow what the boss said, yes, or at some point you decide, no, I'm ready to go and do something on my own. It's your choice, but everybody has to exercise their free will and decide for themselves when it's time for themselves to follow within themselves, to find the love within themselves. That's their own decision, that's their own free will, and they're going to follow what they want to do, not what somebody else wants them to do.
That takes self-love to be able to be so self-reliant that we don't people please anymore. It's not about people pleasing. I think I have in the past, done things to please people, thinking, oh, they're gonna love me if I do this, or they're gonna love me if I do that, or if I, and it's like that love has to come from a different place. It doesn't have to come from other people. Like if I want to do something nice for somebody, I will do it. Not because I need their love, not because I need their, appreciation, because I give that to myself. And it took me, a long time being by myself, without a man, without somebody telling me every day I was beautiful, without somebody, making me feel good about myself, to learn to feel good about myself regardless of who's around me. And now I'm coming from a different place. For my whole life, I have been more of a people pleaser, thinking that that was love. And it is not. People don't care about you more because you do more for them. You know what I mean? It has to be a fair exchange of energy. And that's self love. When you say, okay, I'm going to do something for you, and like I feel like I'm receiving, I feel like I'm being nourished. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It could be, in different ways. Like people give each other things in different ways, like receiving that and being ready to accept love in different forms is really good. Yeah, I love polarizing people. I don't want to please anybody anymore. If I please people, that's good. That means they resonate with my energy, they resonate with my message. I'm not gonna hold back my beliefs and my values because I'm scared of like offending people. I'm gonna say it. Eating animals is wrong. And you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't hear people get triggered anymore because that's, you know, my truth, and that's what I came here to speak and teach.
You're making your decisions, love. You're making your final decisions. And this is it. Like when you make that final decision, at first, when you make that decision, you may be a little apprehensive about it. But then as you practice that decision, you start to see, hello? Oh no. Why have I lost her? You know, when we make these decisions in our life, when we make new decisions in our life, we're not so certain at the start. We're a little apprehensive about the decision that we've made. And we don't trust in ourselves and our decision that we've made. So if we make a decision like she was talking about reducing meat, this is a part of my practice, and this is something that I'm encouraging to reduce meat, to reduce blood, to reduce starch, to reduce cooked and processed foods, to be reducing the dead food, to be moving to more live food. This is raw fruits and vegetables, live foods, plant-based nutrition, shifting from the she says she's back. Hopefully we're going to see her pop back here in just a second. Let's see. Yeah. So we want to reduce the proteins and the fats. These are the most dense foods. It doesn't mean that you have to eliminate them, but we want to reduce them. The proteins, the fats, and the starches. We want to eat more micronutrient rich foods, live foods, foods that contain life force, foods that contain life, foods that contain energy, right? Foods that are still alive. Human is alive. Human is trying to build live cells. Human's trying to repair live cells in the body. Human needs live food in order to reproduce live cells. I have hit the request sent to Aline. I don't know why. I have invited it. Yes, I can. I have to accept. Let's see. Okay, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm trying. This is new to me. Sorry if I'm slow with this technology. Oh, good. She's back, I think. Aline was talking. She said she moved from juices. She went to raw juices. She detoxified her body with raw juices, and now most recently, the last 14 days, she's been detoxing just purely on water, just the water detox, water fasting. This is detoxification methods of the body, and you know she's been dealing with some pressures uh, with her family and people around her. I think is what the trouble is, and I think it's very common when we start to move in this lifestyle to get a lot of external a lot of external noise, a lot of external feedback from our people that love us, from our family members, from our parents, from our siblings, from others, from people that don't understand. Hello, love,
I think
hello.
it's I don't know what's going on. Sorry, it's me and technology. I'm like stars and babies.
We're just learning. We're learning. We're beginners. We're beginners. We're all beginners. We're all learning. We're all trying our best. We're all doing what we can. We're doing what we can. We're picking up our energy. We're healing ourselves, but by moving to more live foods, energetic foods. She moved to juices. Now she's moving to water fasting. Now this is it. When we move to lighter foods, when we get rid of the meats and the dairies, when we reduce the fats and we reduce the starches, reduce the cooked foods, we're moving to juices and moving to waters. Well, now we're changing the way that the body is sustained. We're changing the way that the body's being nourished. The body is nourished by food or by juice or by water. It's also being nourished by the way that we think and speak to ourselves. So if we begin to start having a nice dialogue with ourselves, then we can change and nourish ourselves from within ourselves by the way that we speak to ourselves.
I used to have some dark, dark thoughts. I'm telling you, I was suicidal. I had no self-confidence, all self-hatred. My thoughts have completely shifted, completely alchemized. I can now catch myself if I even have a negative thought. I wanted to come on and be like, but John, I want to be perfect. I want everything to be perfect. And then that's part of the self-criticism and like self-love is accepting that things are not going to be perfect. Things are going to fall apart. And look, we're still showing up. We're here. We're taking a chance. We don't have to be perfect. And through doing this, I hope we can inspire other people to get on conversations too. You know, John and I are just human. We're not special. We're nothing special. We're just two humans that decided to be brave and come on and risk making mistakes, risk saying the wrong thing, risk whatever. And it's
You
like
have to be
taking
vulnerable.
practice.
You have to be able to be vulnerable a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
This
I
is
have
it.
a question for you, John. I have a question for you.
Yes.
I would like to know, how am I still going? Like in your turn, how does fasting really work? Whether it's dry fasting, water fasting, when we don't get calorie in us, in your terms, you know, to make it as simple as possible, how do I have this much energy? How do I have this much clarity? Where is it coming from? And um, is it safe? Basically, I would like to have those questions. I know it's a lot of questions, but like just in a nutshell, for those watching that might be wondering about this.
Yes, you know, it's a different understanding of ourselves. Like the human has been told that the human is nourished by food. Like that's where you get your energy. This is what we are told. This is how we've been schooled, right? We get our energy from our food, but this isn't really true. And you can see it. If you take away the food, you can live for 3 months. Many people live much longer without food than 3 months, but easily 3 months can happen. If you go without water, we're talking about 2 or 3 weeks. But if you go without air, we're talking about 2 or 3 minutes. Truthfully, it's obvious that it isn't the food that nourishes the human. It's not the food that's the limiting factor. The limiting factor is the body's ability to utilize oxygen. And if the body has in like blockage in it, if the lymphatic system is blocked, if the lungs have mucus in them, if the capillary beds have mucus in them, if the cells have mucus in them, if the body has toxicity in it, then it can't process and utilize oxygen better. So then it doesn't matter how many calories you put in or put out. Detoxifying your body is removing the blockages in your body. And as you remove the blockages, you have more access to the true natural energy that is within the being. This is the higher self energy, not the energy of food, but the energy of the spirit. This is the unlimited energy. It's a very subtle energy. It's the most powerful energy. It's the creative force, but it's a subtle, quiet force. And you can't hear it in a busy digestive system. You've got to come to stillness within. And so that means we take away the most heavy foods that are the most difficult to digest. We're moving to foods that are lighter in nature. So juices, waters, dry fasting. Yes, this is the way that the body eliminates the waste. This is the way that the body eliminates the mucus. This information has been suppressed and hidden because, unfortunately, big pharma, big agra, food and drug live in the same house. It's covered, it's controlled by the government. And as long as this is the state of affairs of human, everything human hears and sees that comes through the media is going to be screened through the Food and Drug Association, which means that it has like a certain slant to it. It has a slant that's going to try and direct you into a certain way of living being, certain types of foods, and getting into a certain type of lifestyle. And that has a sickening effect on the body. When the body gets clogged with toxins and mucus over time, it slows down, it gets sluggish, the energy goes down. Emotionally, we get stuck and trapped. And this is not joy and happiness. This is not the ultimate experience for human experience. This is not the ultimate experience. There is another experience for the human, and it means connecting to our inner energies. It means recognizing ourselves as being physical and mental and emotional or energetic. And it's acknowledging the energy side of the self. When we take away the nourishment, the external nourishment, then where to find the nourishment? The nourishment must come from the energy that is within the being.
Yeah.
Does it answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I do feel like I'm coming from a different place, and um, yeah, I'm just really amazed by this, going through this process and feeling it for myself, and just like experiencing it without fear, without any doubt that I know I can do this. I know God is watching over me. I know this calling came from someone very spiritual, and it's just overriding all of the programming that I have been told. My
It's
mom's a
trusting in
dietitian.
yourself. It's trusting in
I grew up
yourself.
with a mom that's a dietitian that told me dairy was good for me and meat was good for me. She still thinks I should eat meat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lot of programming that I've
Mm-hmm.
had to undo, being called crazy for not wanting to eat animals at the age of 9 and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been a lot of unlearning, and
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You know, I'm not much of a reader. I'm not much of a researcher. I follow signs. I follow guidance. I listen to certain people that have what I want. Basically, I don't follow anybody else. I don't listen to nobody else unless they're on this really really high um, path of ascension, and then I'll start paying attention. If they don't have what I want, if they don't have the financial freedom, if they don't have the life of their dreams, if they're not living out their full purpose, being kind in their relationships, um, inspiring people, helping people, I don't listen to them. I'll take everything with a grain of salt and I let it slide because it's just a waste of time.
That's
I'm
being
sorry, that's where
intuitive.
I'm at.
That's believing in yourself, love. It's believing in yourself. It's self-belief.
Yeah,
Yes, it's knowing yourself. It's believing in yourself. It's trusting in yourself, right? And people are afraid. People are afraid. They don't want to step out on their own. They want to do what they're told, right? They just want to follow the crowd. They just want to listen. But truthfully, you know, if everyone is doing the same thing, everyone, if you look at the population, they're gaining weight. They're getting divorced. They're on medication. They have high blood pressure. They have digestive problems. They have sleep problems. You know, families are living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, this is what's going on in the society. So, I mean, if you're following the crowd, this is how you're going to be. This is how the crowd is. Like, let's face what's happening to the crowd. Now, if you continue to do what everybody else is saying and doing, you'll end up just like everyone else. Now, if that makes you happy, if you're happy with that, then that's fine. But we have to, if some people have discovered an alternative way. It's not discovered. It's something that's always been here, that's been covered up and hidden from our sight. If someone unveils the hidden path, sees what's behind the veil, and discovers this, then can't we tell, hey, listen, this isn't Oz behind here. Behind here we got this old guy with a machine. He's making he's making he's making money.
I wanted to say too something about self-love, that if we ask for self-love, we're probably going to be faced with certain challenges in order to get to that self-love. God's not just going to hand us the self-love and be like, here you go, here's your self-love. No, he's going to put difficult people on our path. He's going to put challenging situations on our path. He's going to put karmic twins on our path to show us abuse, pain, fear, guilt, jealousy, all those emotions
Addiction.
that are like, in order to break out of that and then uncover, oh crap, like I don't want that. You know, I don't want to be on that vibration. I deserve better than that. And often we have to go through that big initiation of the karmic destruction before we get to that place of like going within. I feel, and maybe people feel like that's the hard part, you know. Like if I ask for patience, I'm not just going to be handed patience. I'm going to be handed situations in which I have to practice patience, you know.
I get this
Yeah.
all the time. People coming to me, they want to lose weight, and you know, they get into an exercise program, and something breaks down around them in their life, and this is like people say Murphy's law, right? Like as soon as I try to do something, this happens, or as soon as I take efforts, this happens. Well, you see, the universe is testing you. If you say out to the universe, I'm getting fit, I'm getting healthy, I'm getting in shape, well, they're going to say, well, how about this? How about this? Are you going to do it when this comes along? Are you going to do it when this comes along? Because what it is, if you want to be healthy and well, it really means that you are starting to get a lifestyle that includes movement, healthy eating, healthy natural practices, getting out in the sun, getting onto the ground, drinking clean water. You're living this way, you're practicing this way, thinking and speaking positively to yourself and about the other people that you're interacting with. This is the habit that has to be happening. So the universe is going to say, well, you want to get healthy, fit, and well. It's going to show you all of these things to make you decide, to make a decision in your mind, for you to decide for yourself, I'm committed to this, and this is what I got to do to get it. I got to break through this before I'm going to see it. Seek and you shall find it, but you've got to really go for it.
Yeah. The message I keep getting is, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want this? You know? And I'm like, in times of like challenge, like today I was moving, I had bags and I was moving hard. I really pushed myself a lot today, moving it from one house and then unloading it. And then always when there's like challenges or something very strenuous, I feel this bad. Sure, but how bad do you want it? You know, how bad are you going to fight for it? How are you ready to, you know, not succumb to temptation? Because we're being watched all the time. It's like our little actions mean a lot, you know? We could talk about that another time, but I read this book called Karmic Choices. And even something so simple as like taking an extra cup of sugar from the coffee shop will have an impact on the rest of your life, you know? Taking what's not yours, or not putting in the work, or not obeying when God tells you, like, yeah, you need to go to the gym, you need to get in shape. Like, there's consequences to that.
Lethargy, yes. Being in activity, yes. It's an addiction, yes. And you talked about something, we're always being watched. I think we have to maybe even go even further with this idea that you are the consciousness of the universe. So you are watching yourself. So the way that you look out at yourself and the way that you're thinking and speaking to yourself, I feel poorly because I didn't work out today, or I feel poorly because I ate something today. Those thoughts and words are on you. You're feeling those feelings because of what you're thinking and saying. So it's changing that internal dialogue, right? And you know, while we're talking about fasting, and I am so, you know, fasting, wonderful, wonderful. And but you know, because I am in the fasting community, I also want to add to the fasting community that we can also get too far into the fasting community too. I don't want to say, you know, if you go too far into anything, you're gonna break, right? So what we're talking about here is really listening within yourself, learning how to listen within yourself, truly learning how to listen within yourself to what your insides are saying to you. You know, and if your insides are saying that you need to eat, it's okay too. It's not about the food, The practice of removing the food is a way for you to find the source inside. But
Okay.
once you've found the source inside and you've grown that inside of yourself, it's not so much about the food anymore. So you can have a little bit more food, actually even come back into your life and find some more peace in your life with food. Like, truthfully, you have to be comfortable with or without food. It's not just without food. It's practicing with or without food so that I'm comfortable with or without food. So then I have choice. This
Mm.
is free will. Free will is love. Free will is love. So this is like, I can eat or I cannot. It's not I have to eat 3 or 4 or 5 times for the day. No, I can choose. And I can choose to not eat today, and that's okay too. Don't beat yourself up, lovelies.
I love that. I love that because sometimes I do set goals, and even with the juice cleanse, like my first juice cleanse, I set out to do 40 days, and I wasn't done. I was still releasing, so I kept on going, and I thought, okay, I'll go to 60, and then I was still releasing, so I thought, okay, I'll go to 90, and then my next goal was 120. I didn't make it to 120. I stopped at 113, which was kind of a weird number, and I didn't care. I was like, I'm ready to eat. This is time. So I'm not like attached to a particular number per se. Like, I just want to say that to everybody that I'm not like, if I need to do it, I will slow down. You know what I mean? Like, if I feel like
Listen
it's
to
going too much,
yourself. This
I
is it.
will slow down. You know, I'm not here to harm myself. I'm not here to do anything that is not in my highest alignment. I'm here to get clean. I'm here to get out parasites. I'm here
And
to.
it takes time, lovely. It really does take time. Like, people don't understand how long it takes to detoxify the body. There's miles of lymphatic tubes in your body, miles of them. And it takes time to eliminate the waste that's in them. There's acid waste in there. There's food stuff waste in there. There's liquid waste in there. There's solid waste in there. It has to be shifted from the body. And on top of the waste, there's also emotional sadness and sorrow and traumatic thoughts and words and emotions that have happened from the past that get stuck in our shadow, in our darkness, in our toxicity. So when we detoxify ourselves, we eliminate this emotional stuff, and sometimes we don't feel great. And that's kind of part of it too. It's like stepping into a bit of that darkness and discomfort until we can't bear it anymore. And then we eat. It's okay. We relax. We have something to eat. We re-nourish ourselves, and then we return again. This is the practice. It's a practice of unfooding the body. Slowly the body unfoods and learns how to nourish itself again, completely from the prana, completely from within. This can happen. But you'd have to be very, very committed and diligent with your practice. This is how it happens, though. This is the way.
And be committed to, I'll add to that, like be committed to whatever comes up. A lot of the time, like in our support community, I hear members, you know, so ready to start a juice plan, so motivated, so determined. They got the juicer, they got the produce, and something happens, like I get too emotional, or the attachment come up, and like really the emotional detox is like as important, if not more important, than the physical detox. Because, like you said about the emotions coming up, you're not stuffing yourself with food all day long. Well, what comes up? You realize all the reasons you were stuffing it down. It's like, it's like, okay, I feel sad. I'm remembering this thing that happened in middle school, or I'm remembering my first boyfriend. Wow, this is all stuff that was so painful, and at some point, when we get called, it's because we are ready to process it. If we are brave, we have to be brave to do these things. We have to be ready to face ourselves. And that is self love. It's saying, I'm ready to deal with my demons so that I don't act in my shadow with those I love. I don't ghost them. I don't be passive aggressive with them because these patterns from our past keep like repeating themselves in our lives presently. It's like, oh, why do I want to relive that? Well, maybe so that you don't get divorced in a few years, or that maybe, you know what I mean? Like these things have to be processed at some point or another. And those emotions can even transform into tumors. they could transform into sickness, because it's not just the physical thing that happens or manifests. Tumors, cancer, these are repressed emotions and traumas. That's why I'm a big fan of psychedelics as well, because psychedelics really help us dislodge those traumas from our body, from our, you know, layers of our being, that we just can't, there's only so much talking we can do. I mean, when you see stuff from your past that you didn't even remember and you're able to process and
Suppressed.
purge them, then yeah, it's a different level of healing too. Yeah.
This is
Don't keep
calling up
talking
that
about
suppressed calling up that suppressed energy, calling up that inner child that's been suppressed down because you just didn't have time. I don't have time to deal with this right now. I don't have time to deal with this right now. This is how we are. But you know what? In the detoxification process, sometimes we have to deal with that shadow energy, and we just maybe need to lie down. We may need to rest. We may need to be a little slower. We may need to, just be a little more gentle with ourselves. Like, I'm not feeling 100% today. It's okay. I'm just gonna meet this 65% with my best. And just do my best with what I have today. Right? It's to shift the perspective from waking up and going, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it today, to like, okay, I got to get myself moving. I just got to get myself breathing. I just got to get myself thinking and speaking nicely to myself. Maybe I got to listen to something positive. Maybe I got to talk to somebody positive. Maybe I just got to sit and meditate. Be with the energy. Move, get the blood moving through the body, get the body breathing, and then sit and just spend some time with the energy, or lay down. Lay on your side. Take a rest. Take a rest. This is the detoxification process. This is how the body comes to love itself. This is how we come to know ourselves. This is natural healing.
it. So beautiful. And the more we love ourselves, the more we can love other people, where they're at. I find I used to be a lot more judgmental, a lot more harder on people, um, because I was really hard on myself. I still am a little bit, but I'm just learning to find that softness for myself and for other people too. And I think that's having a lot more effect, um, on and helping them by being understanding, by saying, I see your point of view. I know you're coming from a place of love, instead of being like, how dare you come at me with that? And like you getting all defensive just creates that turmoil. I mean, sometimes I get heated up still. I won't lie.
We all do. We all do. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden that you don't get heated up anymore. No, you're still very passionately driven. It doesn't go away like that. But the shadow can go. Like, the low frequency energy can leave our body, and we are left afterwards with higher energy and more joy and more happiness in our life. And that's what the result is of getting healthy naturally. That's what happens when you heal naturally. You just rise up in energy, and you just like, oh, have more joy and happiness. Like, you're just walking around with more joy and happiness, because that is our nature. So once we start to remove the toxins, we come back to our nature. You start seeing more joy, happiness, and energy moving through the body. It looks and sounds different than anything that people know, and this is why we have to model it and practice it and dialogue about it and share about it, because people need to know that they can do it too.
That's the only reason why we're here. I mean, why else would you be sharing every day? Why do I need to come up and share it? It's this calling, this urgency. I feel this urgency, and you've given me this beautiful platform, because I am full of self-limiting beliefs still about I don't have anything interesting to say. Who wants to listen to me? So all these things that just bringing me here is like, wait a minute, I got a lot to teach as well, to help people. Like, really, that's the goal, is to like help empower you to know that you can go within and go in stages, go slow, and you don't have to go so extreme with the water fast, but you could, start cutting out the carbs and the sugars and the fake processed food. Like, that is a form of self-love, saying, I'm not going to eat Takis today, or I'm not going to eat, fried chicken today. I'm just going to take that step and make a smoothie instead. Just those baby steps will alkalize your body, alkalize your mind, and make you want to have more. So then you're going to feel what it feels like, and then you're going to be like, oh, wait, I feel good. I feel tired. can feel the difference. So give yourself the chance to experiment. Instead of having that chicken burger with like two pieces of bread, have chicken on top of a big salad. And then see how that feels. And then maybe next time you could put, I don't know, some, I don't want to recommend tofu, but like some, I don't know, some, even or like make yourself some veggie burgers. There's so many recipes too. Just have like, if anybody knows about it, interested in it, feel like plant-based can help you feel better. It's not so taboo. It's not so scary anymore. Especially we're talking about it all the time now. There's great restaurants out there. Like just try it out. Like in Canada, there's Copper Branch. Copper Branch is like this fast food, but it's so good. I was obsessed with Copper Branch, and all of that really good. And they don't line up with people outside, and most people there aren't even vegan because it just tastes good and makes you feel great. So just that is like an opening and might be the seed that's planted for somebody to make a switch. A movie like The Game Changer. Like, let's open up our minds here and open up our hearts because one person can make a big difference. One person can save a lot of animals, and one person that makes a switch wants to inspire other people around them because they're like, we have this like awakening. It's like, oh my God, we could do this and we could heal ourselves and we could heal the planet by making this change. Like, don't we all want to feel like superheroes on some level? Don't we all want to feel like we're empowered and doing something positive? Like, we can make a difference. We don't want to be not helpless. So what can I do? What can one person do? Oh, they're going to die anyway. No, they don't have to. If everybody says no, then no. So
It only takes one person to make all the difference, love. One person can make such a difference, lovely. Sweetheart, it's been wonderful sharing with you tonight. I don't want to keep you on too long,
we were trying to keep it to half an hour for everyone. I knew it wasn't
Yeah.
going to happen. I was
Well,
like that.
let's cut it here. We're just brand new. We're starting. We're gonna talk again, and we're gonna get some clarity about our message, and we'll meet again for next week. I hope we'll grow again and discuss some more.
This was so good and so golden, John. Thank you, and thank you for everyone who came on and for supporting us. We got some amazing response from last time, so we really appreciate it, and we hope you come back for next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much, lovely. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Love you.